Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. And we have here, this is a 2020 Toyota CHR, and I'm gonna show you how to do your front brakes here. And the way you do it, it's pretty simple. Obviously you lift the car, make sure you install jacks, safety jacks, and you take your wheel out, and the brake is pretty simple. It's a one piston brake, so you have this 14mm bolts right here. And before we start doing this, I would recommend you my fastest procedure of doing this. Instead of waiting, getting tools, this and that, after the fact, to push, after you take your brake pads out, you need to push the piston here back to zero position. The simplest thing I do is I just get a screwdriver or something to push inside here, and I'll just start pushing this slowly, and you see it's gonna come back very easy. Just make sure that you're in the correct position, and this will start moving. You see it's moving slowly, but it is moving. You see, this is almost to where it's supposed to be. This is supposed to be right here. This piston is supposed to get flush with this line here. So I need to push a little bit more. And this is also flush right here. So this would be your maximum position of this, and we can see the piston is already loose right here. That's the piston. I'm gonna put my screwdriver between the brake pad and the rotor, because we're changing rotors and brake pads, just to check and everything is fine. Okay, so this is you see it's floating. So it's ready to go. The next step is we just need to release the caliper with these two bolts, the 14mm bolts. You may have there's a locking nut right here, so if these don't go, you're gonna have to get a wrench here to lock these nuts. So this is a 17mm here, but because it's a very tight space, so this one works. Let me open this one. But the other one, this top one, it's kind of in a tight place, so you would need a special wrench where this side of the wrench is thinner, the locking side, or you can use vice grips to actually work on this. Well, I managed to just open, kind of squeeze it and get it in. So if you can't do that, just use locking vice grips. And this is out, and now we need to remove these brakes. I am changing the rotors and the pads, so I'm not worried about any kind of damage here. The thing is here now, to get the caliper bracket here, we need to get to these two 17mm bolts in the back right here. This one and this one here. So guys, this rear 17s, I'm going to use my impact gun because it's easier and faster. go. 17mm bolts. And this bracket, we're gonna have to clean this a little bit. So the disc is ready to go out. Well, it's gonna be stuck because it's rusted, so we need to hit it with a hammer. So guys, because this rotor, as you can see, the rust right here between the rotor and the hub, this rotor is like literally glued to the hub. So what I'm gonna do is, you can take this out in two different ways. You can use a hammer and hit it right in these points. You keep hitting this thing will come loose. Or you can do a second option. If you have these two holes right here, you have threads in them where you can use a bolt or two bolts to get it loose, and that's what I'm gonna do in my case. And here we go. You see, it was that easy. And the rotor is out. That's it. Then we install the new rotor. Always compare to the old rotor to make sure that this rotor is the same. And now we're going to install the bracket. So the bracket in the back had the 217s. Once you install the 217s, I will show you the most ignored item of these self-loading brakes or one piston brakes is this pin. So this self-locking floating pin, it has grease inside where it goes into this chamber, into the bracket. So you have to clean this, and you have to install some grease back, brand new grease, to make sure that this is actually lubricated and it's ready to go. Again, a lot of people ignore this job, and this is an extremely important job, because once the grease dries out and it's gone, this will start rusting, or when the grease becomes dust itself, these pins will get locked. They will never come out of that chamber. And you have no idea how many times I had to I've had to deal with this, and a lot of times you cannot get these out. You just have to replace the brackets with new calipers. Basically, when you install these back in, they should be moving freely, because that's their purpose. Their purpose is to move freely. This one needs a little bit more. And right here, and this is it. Again, don't forget this part, because it's extremely important, and that's the most ignored part of the brake jobs, is this these two pins, or lubricating the pins. So now the next thing is, with the brake pads, you're gonna have this new kit. You're gonna have a new kit where you have these pins that you have to install, and these little springs here always on the outside. Remember, that's going to be your guide. So this one is on the bottom, the spring is on the outside always. There we go. Inside is out. There we go. Then you have two more shims here that I'm going to install on the brake pads. Make sure that you're actually getting the correct parts, because for some reason we got these from AutoZone and these brake pads were the wrong brake pads for CHR. We had to get the pads for RAV4 actually. So this is where you install this little spring. I usually put them on the top, and you have to start from inside out. And next one same way. This one is on the top. You have the special place here where it locks right here. And same way from inside first and then outside, and here we go. And now we can get the caliper back in. .40mm again. This time we're gonna need to lock this. Well, what happens is, if you don't have these, if you don't have these slimmer wrenches, you're gonna lock the wrench right here between the caliper and the bracket. So make sure that when you tie it, you stop a little bit before that. Usually if you do it, like if you use an electrical tool, this will go fast and it'll lock itself automatically, as you can see right here. If you do it manually, you're gonna have to use a locking tool, but if you don't, if you're not using a manual, using an electrical, it'll happen faster. It's kind of spinning a little bit. That's what I was trying to tell you. But it should be okay, because it looks like it's very tight. I mean, it feels that it's tight. Yeah. These won't come out. You don't need too much of a force to time anyway. and this is pretty much how you do this job. 14, 14, 17, 17, and 2 17s in the back, and this is the whole job. And obviously I forgot to tell you, but I turn to the left so I have access to the front part of this, so it's easier for you to work on. And make sure you clean your rotor with brake cleaner after you do the job, because you don't want any residue or oily residue on the actual brake rotor. And then you start the wheel and you're ready to go. That's the front brake job. The other side is the same as this one. So thanks for watching, guys. Please hit that like and subscribe buttons, because your support helps us to run this channel and create more videos to save you tons of money. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.